Hello everyone, welcome to Cambridge Primary Science Stage 6, Chapter 3 Material Changes. Today our first topic of discussion, that is reversible and the irreversible changes. So let's discuss about the reversible change. Reversible change is a change that can be undone and that can be reversed. That means if the work has been done and if you want to change that work, you can undone that work. But we can see the reversible changes in the daily life, that how material looks, that feels, but in which you can say that no new materials formed. These are the physical changes. In reversible change, there is no new material formed. These are the physical change. You can feel it. There is a change in a state. There is a change in a phase. These are the physical changes. Like in the ice and in the water. When the ice cube is melted, it becomes water, that is liquid, and if you freeze that water again, it becomes solid again. So these are the reversible changes, that you have done it and now you can reverse it, right? So you can cause physical changes with the forces also, like crumpling a sheet of a paper. These are the physical changes that does not produce a new substance. So physical changes include a crushing of a can, melting of an ice cube, and breaking of a glass jar. That are all the reversible changes. The next one are the forms. How these are the reversible changes: in the form of melting, in the form of freezing, in the form of boiling, evaporating and condensing, and the dissolving. So these all are the reversible changes. Let's see how. Like melting, that is a reversible change. How the melting is done, that is brought up by the heating. When you melt the chocolate, it can be changed back into a solid chocolate by cooling. So this is the reversible change, right? That can be undone. And freezing, that is also a reversible change. It is brought up by cooling. For example, we can freeze the orange juice to make the ice popsicles or the ice lollies, and ice lollies can be changed back into a juice by heating. So in this, what happened, juice become the lollies and the lollies again changed back into a juice. So this is a reversible change. Boiling, evaporating and condensing are all the reversible changes. If you capture a steam when the that is made when the kettle boils, but you could turn it back into a water. How you can turn it back? That is by cooling it. So the changes which you can turn it back, the changes which can be undone, that can be reversed, they all are the reversible changes. Dissolving is also a reversible change. For example, when the salt is mixed with the water, you cannot see that it disappear because it dissolves in the water to make the salty water. But we can get that salt back by boiling of the water. If it disappears, even then we can get that salt back by boiling of the water that leaves the salt above. So that is a reversible change. So let's take one experiment. That place ice cubes in the sun or a warm place. What happened after 5 minutes? What caused the ice to change? What will happen if you put it back in the freezer, and the why? So in the warm place, what happened? The solid ice becomes the liquid water, as we know. When you put back into a freezer, it becomes the solid ice again. So we say that these changes are reversible, and these changes, these are the phase changes, like phase changes between ice and water. That means these are the solid, that warm place it becomes liquid, and the liquid in when it cool down and the freezer, then it becomes solid again. So these are the phase changes between the ice and water, and heat causes the ice to melt, that is a warm place, and when the water loses the heat and it cools and becomes the solid again. So these are the irreversible changes. Irreversible changes, what do you mean by that? That means irreversible changes, they are the chemical changes. As we have already discussed, the reversible changes are the physical changes. Now we can say that the irreversible changes are the chemical changes. And what do you mean by chemical change? Chemical change means something permanently changed. There is no way to get it back. That means when for example, when the water is mixed with the cement, a new substance with the new properties have been formed. Like you can use that cement in joining the bricks to make the houses, right? That is a chemical change. Mixing a cement with the water is a reversible change, irreversible change, because we cannot get it back to the original cement even if after boiling it. Means that we cannot get back that cement from the paste we have made it by mixing the cement and the water. We cannot get the original cement back even after boiling it. So this is an irreversible change. Another example is, suppose we boil an egg. That is also a chemical change because the composition of egg is irreversible. There is a chemical reaction between the yolk and the egg white that leaves a green film around the yolk. That means a green layer around the yolk, and we cannot reverse it again. So that is also a reversible change. So irreversible changes. Irreversible changes means when some substance is heated, then changes cannot be reversed. Sometimes the irreversible changes turn one substance into the another substance. We can take an example. When you burn a match, the wood changes into a black substance called carbon. When you burn a match, so you will see that the wood changes into a black substance, that is carbon. In irreversible changes, the materials involved in the change cannot be changed back to their original state. For example, you cannot change a cake. You have made a cake and you cannot change it back into its ingredients. So we can say that the reversible change you can change back, but in an irreversible change, the changes cannot be reversed. So irreversible change cannot be undone like reversible changes. There are some forms like in the heating, mixing and burning, they all are the irreversible changes. In the heating can cause a irreversible change. For example, if you heat a raw egg to cook it, the cooked egg cannot be changed back into a raw egg. In the mixing, a substance can cause irreversible change. How? When a vinegar and the bicarbonate soda are mixed. The mixture changes and it forms a bubble of a carbon dioxide. And these bubbles and liquid left behind cannot be turned back again into a vinegar and a bicarbonate soda. Burning. It is also an example of an irreversible change. It is a chemical reaction that requires oxygen take place. When you burn a wood, what you'll see, you get the ash and the smoke, and you cannot change that ash and smoke back to the wood again. So that is also an irreversible change. Now, let's discuss the question and answers. When you mix the boiling water with the jelly powder, the mixture is liquid. In the fridge, it becomes solid. Can we make jelly change back to a liquid? Yes, we can make solid jelly become liquid. How? By heating it up. When you heat the solid jelly, then it becomes a liquid. And when you cool that liquid, it becomes a solid jelly again. Does boiling an egg cause a reversible or an irreversible change? Explain why. As we discussed that irreversible change, liquid egg white and yolk becomes solid and cannot be changed and become a liquid again. Okay. Does a new substance form when you boil an egg? Yes, a new substance form. Think of an irreversible change that form a new substance like burning of a wood that make a new substance, that is ash and smoke. And when you mix a cement, and that is also irreversible. When you mix a cement with the water, then a paste has formed, that is also irreversible change. How glass is recycled to form a new glass products. Glass is made by mixing a sand and other materials and heating it to a very high temperature until it melts and become liquid. The sand becomes clear, changes into a liquid glass. As the liquid cools down, the liquid glass becomes hard. So in this is the procedure of how glass recycled and how it form a new product. Does the glass form a new substance when it recycled, or it is still a glass? What must have been done to the glass product to make the other glass productive? The glass is crushed and melted and then poured into the molds to put the new products such as bottles, jars and glasses. So we can recycle the glass so that we can put them into a molds, and then we can make the new products from that like bottles, jars and the glasses. Common misunderstandings and the misconceptions. Students think that the water and ice are the different substances, but both the ice and water consist of the water. The main ingredient is the water in both the ice and the water. So, but they are just different states of the same substance. They are not the different substances, they are the same substance. And the other misconception is the heating the substance doesn't necessarily make the substance burn. When you heat something, the students think that always heating the substance burn the things. No, it will melt instead of burning. Example, metals melt when they are heated. Burning is a chemical chain that needs oxygen to take place. Some substances can be heated easily, example papers, but others do not, example sand. When something is burned, the original matter turns into ash and gases also produce which you can sometimes smell although you cannot see them. Thanks for watching. Do like and subscribe my channel. Bye bye.